What's up, everyone? It is Monday, September 14th, and we are live at 5 Eastern Time. I'm Paul Wontorek.
I'm Beth Stevens.
And we're joined, as always, by Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
Hello.
Everybody and we're joined by somebody today who is not on Eastern Time, but we love him anyway. We like to think of him as a Broadway star, even though it's been a while. We need to get this guy back to the Broadway when the Broadway is ready to be back. Who's here today, Beth?
Cheyenne Jackson is with us from Julie and the Phantoms.
And literally
everything.
every good TV show that there is. Like Cheyenne Jackson is now becoming a staple. We like that way. I can't wait to catch up with him. But first, let's do a little news.
Well, we have some really good news out of London today. Six, the musical, will be the first West End musical to open. They have announced that they will have a limited run at the Lyric Theatre. They usually play the Arts Theatre. They're going to do this at the Lyric Theatre from November 14th, that's really soon, through January 31st. Now, they have company because NYMAX Theaters, which is one of the big owners of West End theaters, has announced its plans to reopen 6 of its theaters. So the Apollo, the Duchess, the Garrick, the Lyric, the Palace, and the Vaudeville theaters are all plans in place. They're going to start with Adam Kay, who's an ex-doctor turned comedian. Normal trajectory of that professional career. His play, This Is Going to Hurt, which focuses on the NHS in Britain, the National Health Service, and that will play the Apollo. Now, that's usually home to Everybody's Talking About Jamie, and that show will come back eventually, but right now it will be This Is Going to Hurt October 23rd through November 8th. There are more plans in place for The Play That Goes Wrong and Magic Goes Wrong at the Vaudeville, and of course, NYMAX has Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. They don't have plans in place quite yet for that, but they are looking to roll it out soon, and 6 will have reduced capacity. People will have to wear masks, but they will open on time in November. So good news.
Awesome. So this is an interesting story. Orfeh and Andy Carl, you guys, of course, know Orfeh and Andy. They're married. They do Broadway together. Well, apparently they're also turning into producers because they actually secured the rights to a book that I know well, actually. It's called The Dancer, and it's written by Eric Bernat, and it was a self-published murder mystery set in New York City. It's sort of time-hoppy, but it's mostly set in 1985, and it's about this guy named Joey who sort of stumbles into a dead body. It's a really, I read the book when it first came out. It's really cool. Orfeh and Andy fell in love with it, apparently, and they want to make something out of it. So they got the rights, and they said this is something they've been wanting to do. Actually, Orfeh said this on Live at 5 not that long ago, that they were thinking about writing and producing. So, so it's called The Dancer, and be on the lookout, and we'll see what it turns into.
Well, that sounds exciting. And we have a birthday party to celebrate coming up soon. Dreamgirls Tony winner Jennifer Holliday is turning 60. There she is.
What?
Jennifer Holliday. What? I know.
No way.
I know. No way. People forget how young she was when she won that Tony Award. She is throwing a birthday party, and everyone is invited. This is her 60th birthday. It's October 19th. She will have Jennifer Holliday's 60th birthday concert. It will stream exclusively on goldstar.com at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and she will have a 6-piece band. She is going to play all your favorites, including Dreamgirl songs and songs of Aretha Franklin, one of her idols. So wish Jennifer a happy birthday and join her on October 19th.
You're gonna love. I'm not doing it.
Thank you. Maybe Cheyenne will do it for you. Yeah.
I just did. So the West End revival of Good, starring David Tennant, who many people adore, it of course got moved to the spring of 2021 because of COVID-19. And now we have some more information. It will play at the Harold Pinter Theater starting April 21st. April 2021. That's a lot of 2s and 1s.
Wow. Okay.
With opening night for April 27th. And it's called Good, as I said. It's set just as World War II is about to begin. John Halder, a decent, intelligent, music-loving German professor, they all are, finds himself swept away into a movement that crescendos towards an unthinkable finale. So that sounds exciting. You can see it in London next year, but you can see 6 even sooner.
That's right. Now, I know it feels far away, a little bit far away, but the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, we have news about that. New York City Mayor de Blasio has said that the Thanksgiving Day Parade will be going digital this year. They are not doing it in person. Now, of course, this touches us on Broadway because so many Broadway shows perform or have floats or are somehow involved in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. This will begin November 26th at 9 o'clock. There will be a small, it looks like, live situation around Herald Square where Macy's is on 34th Street. But most of all, this is turning into a television-only experience. Now, as Broadway signs on, if they sign on, we will let you know right here. We don't have any details quite yet.
Are we going to be carrying balloons just here?
Just around your home. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that sounds good.
Well, everything goes on anyway. So, Beth, before we get to Mr. Cheyenne Jackson, do you have Today in Broadway today?
Of course I do. Well, once again, we have upbeat music for not an upbeat subject, which is today would have been the 87th birthday of Zoe Caldwell. Now, Ms. Caldwell.
Legend.
Broadway royalty. She passed away February 16th of this year, although it feels like a trillion years ago. But Zoe Caldwell is the winner of 4 Tony Awards. And let me just tell you a little bit about her because we just love her so dearly, and she was so beloved in the whole Broadway community. She was born on this date in 1933 in Melbourne, Australia, and then she moved to the UK where she joined the Royal Shakespeare Company in 1959 and went on to make her Broadway debut in The Devils in 1965. Okay. And she was one of the first companies at the Guthrie. She was in the first company at the Guthrie. But listen to this. After she made her Broadway debut in 1965, she appeared in Tennessee Williams's slapstick Tragedy, and it only ran for 7 performances. But this doesn't happen anymore, I don't think. She still won the Tony Award for Best Featured Actress in a Play. 2 years later, she was the talk of the town. She won her 2nd Tony Award for starring as the free-spirited schoolteacher in the prime of Miss Jean Brodie. And this is really what launched her in this country. And that was directed by her husband, Robert Whitehead, although they weren't married quite yet, but they worked already together. And she went on to win for Masterclass, with Audra McDonald. There they are together. Audra was so inspired by her co-star that she named her daughter Zoe Madeline Donovan after Zoe Caldwell. And she appeared in Medea very famously and won a Tony for that as well. And there she is with Judith Anderson, another great Australian actress who played the nurse. So she also, I just want to say this, she wrote a memoir. And so if you have a chance, read her memoir. It was published in 2001. It's called I Will Be Cleopatra. Of course, she did famously play Cleopatra. There she is in the role. And she was the daughter of a plumber who became Queen of Egypt. And that's what that trajectory of her story is. So check her out. She was married to producer Robert Whitehead. They had 2 sons, Sam and Charlie Whitehead. She had 2 grandchildren, and she is sorely missed. So happy birthday, Zoe.
Yes, we have to keep talking about these legends and make sure that the next generation knows of them. And I also love the old photos. The old photos are amazing. Hey, Caitlin.
Yes.
How you doing?
I love Today in Broadway. I learned so much.
I love when you wear those earrings. Can you please properly introduce today's guest?
I'm going to try my best, but if I listed every single credit this guy has, we would be here forever. I'm going to welcome you guys to Live at 5 Home Edition, live right here on Facebook and YouTube. Today, we do in fact have Cheyenne Jackson, who appears in the just released new Netflix series, Julie and the Phantoms. He has a long Broadway history, although it's been a minute since he's been on the stage. We need him back. He's been in Aida, Thoroughly Modern Millie, All Shook Up, Xanadu, a whole lot more. On screen, he's been seen in American Horror Story, Watchmen, Descendants 3, my personal favorite. He was Hades. Thank you very much. You guys can follow him on social at Mr. Cheyenne Jackson. Leave all of your questions in the comments below. And please welcome Cheyenne and Paul.
And you, y'all gonna love me.
Thank you for that. Thank you, sir. You always live up to it. How you doing? Good to see you.
Good. Good to see you too.
The hair looks
I'm-
great.
Oh, thank you. I'm
Yes.
on an iPad, so I have to look here for the camera, even though you're here. So it'll be a
It's
little
okay.
weird.
No, it's all
eyeballing,
right.
But okay.
Okay. So if I roll my eyes at something you say, you won't know.
I won't really see.
Well, you don't. Yeah, you can look wherever you want.
Okay.
Make yourself comfortable.
Okay.
It's all good. They do love that Hades, don't they? Those kids, those Descendants fans.
Yeah, they love that Hades. My kids love it too. It's so fun. I mean, before this global pandemic hit and we would be out and about, sometimes people would come up to me, kids especially, and say Hades, and Willow and Ethan would be very protective, and they thought it was so funny. It's been great. It's been really fun.
And okay, so Julie and the Phantoms, it just dropped. I mean, it's so crazy these days. Every time I turn on Netflix, there's something new and amazing on there. There's so much great content out there.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting a lot of buzz. You are really fun in it. Now, this is a show about a bunch of ghosts, about basically this band, right? And they die in the first 5 minutes of the show. I don't want to say how, but it's really fun how they die. And they become ghosts. And you're a ghost. You show up a few episodes in. Your name is what? Caleb Covington.
That's right.
The Hollywood Ghost Club.
Yes.
And you're a very famous ghost.
Yes.
So, and you do an amazing number. You do an amazing number right off the bat.
Isn't that song so great? It's
actually,
so
before we go any further,
yeah,
we're gonna show that. We're gonna show a little clip of that you shared on social media.
Okay.
Can we roll that clip, please?
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Let your body loose, let your body loose. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Show you a thing or two, cause you ain't seen nothing. It's good on the other side of Hollywood. It's good on the other side of Hollywood. So welcome to the brotherhood where you will be misunderstood. Life is good on the other side of Hollywood.
What you gonna do? I mean, that is some catchy.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's an earworm for sure.
Isn't it like a #1 soundtrack? Like it immediately just blew up.
Yeah, Kenny Ortega called me last night and he was like, "Shy, have you seen?" And I hadn't seen any of the numbers and stuff, but yeah, I guess it's the #1 soundtrack on iTunes, and it's in the top 10 of all of Netflix globally. And listen, Paul, as I get older and as I choose what parts I want to play and what stuff and the stuff I want to do, it's important to me, if I'm going to spend any time away from the kids, I want it to be doing something with people who are joyful and loving and amazing. And my time with Kenny doing The Descendants, he is just a walking hug. He's love and light, and he creates a set where you feel like you can't fail. You feel like you can play and there's no wrong way to do anything. So he called me about 1.5 years ago and he said, "I got this show, and would you like to play a ghost who sings and flies?" I was like, "Oh, my Elphaba moment." Yeah. It was just great. Anything he asks me to do, I'm going to do it, because he's so wonderful, and he has that magic touch.
Kenny Ortega has a very established career now as a director, producer, choreographer. And, the High School Musical movies really sort of like took him into this whole other zone. But he is also responsible for the choreography of so many iconic things in my life. Xanadu, the movie Xanadu, and of course you heard Xanadu on Broadway. Oh, and of course everyone knows he made Newsies, which was not that successful at the time, but now there's this whole new wave of love for Newsies. Hocus Pocus. Okay, but can we talk about some of the other things? The Material Girl video, Madonna.
Oh, yes.
Dirty Dancing.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. We're in the same way. And which I just watched like a week ago. If I Could Turn Back Time, the Cher video. I mean, isn't that crazy? Do you ever, now that you have like a friendship and a working relationship with this guy, do you ever like talk about any of these great things from his past? Did he come see Xanadu on Broadway?
He did see Xanadu. Yeah, he did. Kenny, when we were doing Descendants and we were creating the character of Hades, a lot of it is Kenny's physicality. Kenny is like, because he played Burger in Hair. I did too in Seattle. So we both had that connection, and he's like, he wanted it to be like Mick Jagger, and just the way he moves, but his stories, I knew a lot of what he had done. I'm glad I didn't look up everything that he had done, because I would have been too fangirly, but he's just incredible. And I just, it's fun to be in, you know, something that the kids can see. I showed Willow and Ethan last night a little bit of Julie and the Phantoms, and Ethan said, "Why are you always bad men?" I'm like, the bad men are more fun to play. And Willow was dancing. Yeah, it's really fun. Really, really fun.
How old are they now?
They'll be 4 next month.
Okay, awesome. And you just had an anniversary with Jason. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, yesterday.
Amazing. What did you guys do? Did you do anything special?
Well, I mean, we have been in strict lockdown since March.
Yeah.
Like full on, nobody in, nobody out. My mother-in-law lives with us. I'm actually in her the guest house where she lives, and teaches preschool to the kids. She arranged the kids. They got us like our favorite breakfast, and the kids came in with balloons, and they sang "Happy Anniversary," and we had a great day. Jason and I had our special connection, and then we watched at night after baths, we watched our wedding video. Oh, so yeah, and the kids, you know, Willow kept saying, "Where were we?" I'm like, "You weren't here yet." She's like, "But where were we?" I'm like, "This is a big conversation. We'll have it later." Yeah.
Well, if they're catching on that maybe recently you've been playing some bad guys, it makes me wonder what else they've seen of your resume.
Nothing. I mean, there's nothing they can see yet. They are excited about Call Me Cat, the new thing, because I'll be working with real cats, and I'll be playing someone nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're involved in a few new things, because you're also in the Werewolves Within.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Based on a video. Are you a werewolf in that? Is that a secret?
I mean, yeah, we've shot that film last winter, like right before everything.
Okay, so that's done. What sort of with COVID-19? How did it affect your career? Like, what were you working on that got paused, or?
We were we had wrapped Julie and the Phantoms, but we just had some post-production to do, some ADR and looping. We had wrapped this docu-series that I'm doing on HBO Max called Equal.
Oh my God. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Cool. And we were in, I was in the middle of shooting Saved by the Bell. So
that's like a reboot. That's like a reboot.
Yes,
and you actually worked with Elizabeth Berkley.
I'm her husband on it.
You're her husband?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And she's done Broadway too, actually. Broadway vet, Elizabeth Berkley.
What did she do?
She was on Broadway. She was in, oh my God, she was with Alan. Oh my God, now I'm totally going to blank. She was in a play that Jeffrey Richards produced. Anyway, cool. I got to meet her. If I got to meet her, that means she was on Broadway.
Yeah. I did the 24-hour plays with
Sly
her on
Fox.
Broadway.
Sly Fox.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah. It was early on.
Yeah. But we met doing 24-hour plays years ago on Broadway, and she came to a reading, one of our workshops of Xanadu with Jane Krakowski, and we just are kind of been friendly over the years. And yeah, they did the reboot of Saved by the Bell, and she called me and she was like, do you want to play my husband and Saved by the Bell? I'm like, yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so we'd done a couple episodes of that prior to COVID, and then that shut down. And then we were getting ready to do pre-production on Call Me Cat, which is the most exciting project. I've been trying to manifest this for years. A multicam, really well written, character-driven show that shoots close to my house, and it happened this last year. So it's called Call Me Cat, and it's me. I'm opposite Mayim Bialik, and Swoozie Kurtz is in it. Wow. Leslie Jordan. I mean, Leslie
who has
Jordan.
become even more famous the last 6 months.
I mean, hello. We worked together on American Horror Story, so we have a history. But yeah, so that show we were in pre-production on, and then that stopped. But now we're back, and we'll begin shooting in a few weeks. We've been doing all the table reads and everything, getting ready. But once everything started to chug along in the industry here, I did go back and finish Saved by the Bell. It was the first time I'd been on a set since March, and it was crazy. It was, I mean, you know, COVID test every 48 hours. Wow. You do your own last looks, you know, with your own final hair and makeup before you, you touch your own props, and everything is partitioned. It's a very new way of working, but I'm very, very happy that we are finding a way and we're moving this along, because there's so many people that are affected, so many people's jobs. So yeah, we're gonna get it done.
Yeah, and obviously you're looking at all your Broadway friends who aren't so fortunate to be able to, you know, take those steps and actually get it done. You know,
it is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking what it has done to the industry, not just people on stage, but all of the restaurants and all of the businesses and the entire economy. So there has to, I mean, I don't know how it's going to happen. You know more than me. You're more in that world right now, but like, yeah, it's crazy. It has been nice though to see how creative people have become, and artists and Broadway people, and just coming up with their own content and shows and concerts online. But yeah, I know, being in the theater while I was shooting Werewolves Within, I had 48 hours in New York last winter, and I saw everything I could see. I saw Jagged Little Pill, which I loved. It was so wonderful. And I saw anyway, but yeah. So
yeah, that's what you do. You come to New York and you're that guy now. You just see show after
two a
show
day.
after show.
2 a day. I have to like see everything I can. Yeah.
I've been loving watching your resume grow and grow and grow. I mean, even just in the last year, in like small but really cool roles, you were in Watchmen. That was really fun. That was really fun when you popped up on that. You were in the morning show. That was fun.
Yeah.
Like, you must be feeling good.
I feel great. Yeah. You know, I made a decision about 3 years ago to only work with people that really, really made me happy. I know that could seem flowery or Pollyanna-y, but with my kids, and my number one priority is them. Any time away, like I said, I hate it so much. And so I want to work with people who inspire me and who are a joy to be around. So, yeah, even if it's a small little thing, the morning show, they said, do you want to play the singer in this scene? And I was like, no, because I thought I would just be like the band singer, and they're like, you'd be playing yourself. I'm like, huh? What?
You're that guy now.
That blows my mind. And then Jennifer Aniston was so wonderful. They didn't write in the script to say my name, but she just liked me and said my name in the script. I was like, oh, Jen.
Look at that.
Yeah, it was very cool. It was very cool.
And then they randomly sang Sondheim. It was weird. It was Sondheim was in every TV show last year.
That was, and The Watchmen was, I mean, Damon.
Oh, that was so cool.
That was so fun. I've never even thrown a punch on camera. So to be able to do all those stunts and everything, that was a dream for sure.
We're going to take fan questions in a second, but I do want to talk about Equal, because I love the idea of Equal. It's for HBO Max.
Yeah.
We don't know the exact premiere date, but soon.
Okay.
And it's like a bunch of little. I love the idea of exploring these people in LGBTQ history that we don't really know, and you're playing Dale Jennings, and I learned a little bit about him just because you're playing him, and when people see this, but people call him like the Rosa Parks of the gay movement in some ways, because he really fought against an arrest, right? That was. So can you talk a little bit about that and what it was like playing this real guy?
It was cool. Well, I like the idea, like we touched on, the idea of these kind of unsung people from
Yeah.
LGBTQ history who we don't know their names. You know, we know, you know, Harvey Milk, and we know Larry Kramer, and we know these prolific names, but there are so many people who had an impact in their part to make our lives the way they are now. So yeah, it was cool. I didn't know anything about him, so I did my research, and Dale Jennings and Harry Hay, played by Anthony Rapp. So he and I got to do some stuff together, which is great. They were the founding members of the Mattachine Society, which was one of the first LGBTQ organizations, kind of, you know, like the Human Rights Campaign in its time. And yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but it was really beautiful to be playing someone like him, and also just the way they're doing it, they're splicing it with real footage, and because it's a docu-series plus our scenes, and the director has a very cool aesthetic. So there's like projections on us sometimes, and yeah, it's a cool project, and I'm excited to see how it turned out.
I love it. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to binge it. Hey, Caitlin, can you pop in here? Oh.
Hi.
You want me to do
Hi.
it?
Hi.
She gets mad because I always forget to say, let's take some fan questions. Okay, I'll never do it again. I promise. I'll never forget again.
I love those. I love little videos so much. It makes me so happy. Okay. First things first for you, Cheyenne. Both Caroline and Maddie and Lisa want to know, when you're doing screen roles, do you ever specifically search out roles where you can show off your Broadway history and sing and dance, kind of like in Descendants and in Julie and the Phantoms, or do you intentionally seek that out, or is it just like, oh, it just happens to have that?
It just has been working out that way. I have wanted to sing on TV forever. I don't know if you remember, but I was on Glee and I didn't sing, and it broke my damn heart. Like, it was really tough. Like, I was on Glee, and Matt Morrison, of course, was, and singing all the time. And then they brought in my buddies Matt Bomer and Neil Patrick Harris. Like, I was like, let me sing, and it just never ended up working. So I have been dying to sing. So yeah, if there is a project that has a musical component, I definitely will look at it closer. But it's cool that there's so much music in television now. Even like dramas, they'll say, oh, a special musical episode. Right. And it's cool now. Like, all of us weird theater nerds, everybody wants to be us now. So that's cool.
And there's a lot of music in Julie and the Phantoms. I mean, there's a lot of numbers.
Oh, it's full music. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, Stephanie34 on Twitter wants to know, what was your first big Broadway love? Whether it be a show, a character, an actor.
First Broadway love. Well, the first show that when the first time I ever knew what Broadway was, I was 13 in 8th grade, and the second national tour of Les Mis came to Spokane. So I saw that, and so I was obsessed with Les Mis. I just wanted to be in it so badly. The first obsession, though, would have to be Rent. Rent changed the game, and I was doing a community theater production of Anything Goes in Spokane, Washington, and we were listening to Rent, and I was like, I was trying to manifest. I'm like, one day, and I auditioned for Rent so many times, and I would be sitting in Bernie Telsey's office being like, one song, and it was just never fit. It was just never quite right, and it was just one of those things, so yeah, I would say probably Rent.
But you got your time with Anthony Rapp, didn't you?
But I got my time with Anthony Rapp, and I stood by for Adam Pascal in Aida, so I kind of was like, I got my moment.
Rent adjacent.
Yes, Rent adjacent moment.
Okay, I have to say, the amount of Xanadu questions in this comment section is pretty, I love it. So Brian just says, Cheyenne singing Don't Walk Away from Xanadu is one of the greatest vocal performances of all time.
Whoa.
Just as a thing.
Thanks.
And Jerry says, I saw Xanadu 4 times, and I loved when Whoopi joined the cast. You missed the roller skates and the jean shorts.
I have them. I have them in the closet. I tried the shorts on the other day just to see. I gotta always make sure that can squeeze into them. I have to say, of all the things I've done, when I'm out in the world, not right now because of what we're dealing with, but prior, that's the one thing that people bring up to me almost every day in some way.
Wow.
So how cool
Wow.
to be a part of something that people they love so much. So yeah, I think it's really, really special.
I think whenever you try on the Xanadu shorts, I think that's what Instagram's for. I think you're supposed to. I thought that's what it was. I thought that's
some
what it
afternoon when I need some attention, I'll be like,
exactly. Save it.
save it.
I love it. Okay, I think we can do one last question. And Alexis says, Cheyenne, you have done so many things: musicals, serious TV shows, horror, Broadway. Is there a specific type of entertainment you haven't been able to do yet that you really want to?
That's a good question. Man, no. I mean, there isn't anything that I've been dying to. I'd love to do a big, well, you know what? I'd love to do a big budget movie musical. Descendants was that, but it was a television musical. So I think a full on big, something like that. I think that would be really fun. Yeah, I think that would be it. But, yeah.
I'll take it. I say yes. I co-sign. I don't really have any power, but yeah, I like that idea too.
Well, Mr. Jackson, if you're nasty, thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
So good to see you as always. Enjoy that family of yours. I'm glad that you're locked down. I'm glad you have so much love around you out in LA. And we can wait. We can wait to see you on Broadway again. You're giving us a lot. You're giving us a lot to enjoy. So it's all good.
Thank you. Someday when all the stars align. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
God, I miss it.
All right. Well, take care of yourself. And
too.
Caitlin, will you please take us out?
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for a fun new episode of the Live at 5 Home Edition. You can follow along where you get your podcasts by searching for #Live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We talk to Broadway's Margot Sieber all about her brand new EP and all the awesome work she's doing along with it. And taking us out today is a beautiful clip of Carrie Hope Fletcher singing singing Far Too Late from the new upcoming Cinderella musical, accompanied by Andrew Lloyd Webber himself at Her Majesty's Theater, which is the home of Phantom of the Opera in the West End.